now. So without further ado, let's now watch our interview with our resource person for the day in our segment InDiverse, Inclusion and Diversity in the Workplace. Let's watch this.
Live from Greece, tara na mga katropa!
And we're back. So partner, this time we have a new guest from Greece. Very beautiful lady from Greece. She's actually a keynote speaker, a success coach, world's top 100 HR influencers in 2020, and Harvard Business Review Advisory Council member, president of Cosmo Leadership, HRM lecturer, best-selling author, and multicultural expert. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Evi Prokopi in the house. Hi, Dr. Evi.
Hi, Dr. Evi. Good morning from Manila.
Good morning. Hello, it's nice to meet you both. Thank you very much for the invitation.
Likewise. And thank you for heeding the invitation.
Yes. Would you like to greet your friends as well as your fans in LinkedIn in your native language?
Kalimera. It's a Greek word for good morning in Greek.
Oh, okay. So we're learning something. Our topic for today are general facts about bullying, because this is the expertise of Dr. Evi. And later on, we will find out what are the different interventions or organizations he's involved in with regard to this anti-bullying campaign in the workplace. So first, let's define, with the help of Dr. Evi, what do we mean by bullying in an organizational context, in a corporate setting? When do you say that there is bullying?
So workplace bullying is repeated inappropriate behavior. It can be verbal or written or physical. And the goal, the aim of this behavior is to intimidate or threaten or humiliate the victim's confidence ultimately.
So the goal is to humiliate. Okay, how would you classify, or how can you know that you have already been bullied? Maybe
So,
that is just like that, but how can you classify that, hey, I'm already being bullied? What are the telltale signs that you have to watch out?
Yes.
So first of all, according to a survey by the Workplace Bullying Institute, about 60% of the workplace bullies are bosses. However, as you understand, still high percentage, about 39%, if I remember correctly, comes from any other direction in the organization chart. And workplace bullying can take several forms. It can be the most obvious one, aggression, where the bully basically yells, uses aggressive body language and tries to intimidate one or more people, so nobody can stand up for the victim because they are afraid of the consequences. They can be as a two-faced colleague. I think many of us have seen over our lifetimes at work two-faced colleagues who pretend to be your friend, and behind your back they undermine you. Another form is joking, when the bully actually makes jokes against the victim, and maybe they also encourage other people pick on the victim, and of course the victim feels sad, feels anxious, they may even cry. And there is another form, the humiliation form, which actually we can also experience it, and we can notice, observe it in remote working, where the bully humiliates the victim by either pointing out their mistakes or stealing their ideas, sabotaging them, or excluding them from important meetings. And this is the worst, in my opinion, this is the worst form of bullying, because it's usually institutional, meaning that it's usually allowed and accepted by the upper management. And this is very prominent also in remote working, where people supposedly forget to include team members in important meetings, or don't give them all the resources they need. And especially remote working, where everything is more difficult to manage, it can really cause trouble to the victim.
Right. I agree about the troubles, the hassle. You know, you're trying to make the life of your victim miserable and short. Now, we've heard your point about the individual impact or the impact of bullying to a person. Now, what is the impact of that bullying to the organization as well as to the team?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like a domino. When bullying has a significant impact on the victim, both in their physical, emotional, psychological health, then the victim has many physical symptoms. They may have trouble sleeping, they may be tired, they may have stomach issues or other mood disorders, or even anxiety and depression. And this leads to their decreased performance. And if a team member has decreased performance because they're always tired, they're always anxious, they're always sad, and they cannot perform 100%, then they may even take more sick days, more days off. And this will affect the entire team because someone doesn't produce as much. And if a team is affected, then other teams are affected, then the entire company may be affected, depending on the size of the company. It's like a domino. It starts from a single person, but it can lead to an entire organization productivity decrease.
Dr. Evi, if I may ask, as a leader or someone who manages a team, how would you feel or know that there is already bullying happening in your team? Because as you said, it's quite difficult. Sometimes it happens to individuals, but if it is already in the organization, what are the telltale signs or manifestations that is already probably happening in one's team?
Mm-hmm. In order to understand that a team member is being bullied, first of all, you need to establish that you have a really good relationship with this person. As a team manager, as a team leader, you need to build relationships and collaborations with all your team members based on trust. And if you have frequent communication, if you talk openly to your team members and your team members are not afraid of speaking to you, then you will understand. First of all, you will see if they have decreased productivity, if they don't perform well, if they take days off. And if there is trust, they will come to you and tell you that there is a problem. However, as we said, the majority of bullying incidents starts from the team manager. So this is the problem, that team managers many times don't care about their teams. They don't care about the team members' well-being. And if they don't care about their team members' well-being and they bully them, then you see this is a vicious cycle. And in this case, then someone who experiences bullying, they should be able, ideally, to find someone else to talk to. Maybe a colleague, maybe someone else higher up than their own team manager. But yes, if a team manager really cares about their team, then they build a relationship based on trust, based on frequent communication, transparency, and then they can understand. They can see the signs if their team member faces bullying by someone else within the team or by another team.
What do you think would be the reason? Why is it that the team managers are the source more often than not of this bullying culture? Because as you said, it normally comes from the team manager themselves. So what do you think are the reasons that make them the propeller of the toxic culture?
I think the answer is very simple to say. It is because of their own insecurities. Because usually someone who is a bully, someone who bullies other people, they have experienced bullying themselves. They have received bullying either by previous employer or by other people, by family members when they were younger. So basically, they bully others to cover their own insecurities because now they have the power to do it. They manage people. They think that, you know, I am more powerful than you. I'm stronger than you, and I can do whatever I want. And unfortunately, truth is simple as that.
So would you consider bullying as a tactic to get ahead in the corporate ladder?
I don't think bullying is ever the answer. Even though I have witnessed bullying to be used as a tactic to get ahead twice, both times in my personal cases when I experienced this and I saw it, I presented evidence both times to the upper management. And the upper management did nothing about it. In my cases, when I witnessed things like that and I even had a log issue, then I had to quit. And this is why I think that workplace bullying is still a taboo topic. People don't like to talk about it. People don't accept that there is a problem. The solution would be for the upper management to actually acknowledge the problem, accept the problem. We can only solve something, we can only solve a problem if we first admit there is a problem and accept that there is a problem. And especially when you have a bullying claim with evidence, you cannot ignore it. You just need to admit there is a problem. But as long as they deny to face the truth for a variety of reasons, then I'm afraid nothing can really be done.
Ryan, is there anything else you would like to add?
If it happens, actually, if the person, a subordinate, experiences bullying from his own boss, of course, it demotivates him. But however, if there are no available people in the organization to talk to, what else can you suggest to be done? I mean, it's quite difficult to understand somebody experiencing something if you're not within the same office. It might sound as if you are just spreading gossip or rumor about another person.
So I couldn't hear you very well. Are you asking me what can one do if their boss is bullying them? Is that the question? I couldn't hear you very well.
As I said, if it happens that the subordinate is the one being bullied by the boss and the person concerned has nobody to talk to in the office, it may not be appropriate to talk about it outside, as it might sound that if he's gossiping about the person, what else can he do?
Okay. The first thing is that the recipient of bullying should confirm that they actually experience bullying by judging the situation objectively. Maybe they face discrimination, maybe it's something else. So the first is to confirm that it is bullying indeed. And once they confirm that it is a bullying case, it's extremely important to stop being afraid and stand up for oneself. They should talk to the bully and they should tell the bully to stop. I know it sounds silly, but actually, in most cases, the victim of bullying never asks the bully to stop. And once the bullied person, the victim, asks the bully to stop, in many cases, actually it happens. The bullying stops. However, if it doesn't stop, the victim of bullying should keep a diary, should keep a log issue where everything is written down. Who did what, when, how.
HR, we call that incident report. You need to document everything. So you have a proof. And if you can provide record, let's say an email or what have you, or a witness that there was indeed a bullying that happened, it would be better.
Yeah. Dr. Evi, if I may add to my question, because you mentioned if you have confirmed, if one person has confirmed that indeed he's being bullied, how do you evaluate if one is just being bullied or the person is just being a goal-getter or somebody who may just be really driven to perform? How would you identify a bullying, or how do you call a spade, so to speak?
It's about the behavior expressed by either the boss or anyone who does the bullying. As we said, the manifestations of bullying are either are one of the forms we discussed earlier. So if it's not under these categories, then it may be something else. Maybe, as you said, the way to perform better, or it may be discrimination, or maybe anything else. So it's very important to take some time, distance ourselves from what has happened, and approach when we are calm and we can actually assess the situation objectively and see whether it was bullying or not.
Okay.
And something that is very important is that once we identify that we experience bullying, the victim of the bullying should always take care of themselves. They should talk to someone they love. They should do something for themselves to feel better. Maybe watch something funny, or do a hobby, or even visit a therapist. Talk to someone they trust. And they should always gauge the outcome. If it is bullying, if it is repeated and institutional bullying, where no one can help them. Unfortunately, bullying in many countries is illegal. It's still legal. There is no law against bullying in many countries. So if there is nothing to be done at the workplace, maybe it's time that they decide to move on, to quit and move to another company.
Right. That's why there's a growth now of positivizing the culture or rehabilitating the culture, because it really has something to do with the work culture as well as the leadership, because it will dictate the kind of environment that there's going to have, or the norm in the corporate or in the office, right? So if you establish a norm of camaraderie, of transparency, as well as inclusivity, then you can, if not eradicate, you can manage at least bullying at work. What other tips, Dr. Evi, would you like to give to make organizations more bully-proof?
Mhm.
I'm saying bulletproof, bully-proof.
Bullying-proof, that's nice. So I think that the human resources and the upper management should strategically collaborate and work together and face the truth and realize that this is a real problem in many workplaces, maybe in their own workplaces as well. And it's very important to check in on people frequently and genuinely care about people. I mean, especially human resource professionals. Our profession, the title, human resource, it includes the word human. We should care about humans. So if we only genuinely care about them, then we can really build trusted relationships with them. And, you know, we can only
start from us, right? If you are the human resource person, it should start from you, meaning you should walk the talk and don't be a bully.
Yes, agree with you.
Because you have to be the role model, right? Because if you are a bully also, then how can you expect people to open up if they are being bullied, if you're also a bully yourself? That's a problem now.
I mean, if we just use some common sense, we can only lead and manage people effectively if we want the best for them.
Right, agree.
And one more thing is that values always stem from upper management, always stem from leadership. And our people will only take us seriously if we show the same values and the leadership shows the same values. I mean, it doesn't matter if we have written a beautiful work constitution or a work mission statement and talk about integrity and honesty and so on, and then bully our people. That doesn't even make sense.
It's a piece of paper, right?
Yeah, it's lip service.
It's going to be, I would have to agree. It's going to be just lip service. If you're just, I agree with you that if you're just going to to mention about those things that is already in the wall, and they don't walk the talk, you don't have any concrete applications of what is written on the wall, it's useless.
Yeah.
Because if the person or the persons who are supposed to champion it are actually not doing what they're supposed to champion for. Any final tips, Dr. Evi, to our listeners and viewers so that they'll
Mhm.
be able to have a more peaceful and a happier organization? Because as they
Yes.
say, like the old adage goes, a happy organization that creates a happy employee, and a happy employee creates happy customers. So how
Exactly.
can we have that kind of culture now? That ideal, of course, there's no ideal culture, but at least we can have a better working culture. Now, how do you shift from a toxic work culture wherein people talk behind each other's back, they pull each other down, there's crab mentality, towards or leading to an organization that is more positive, that tries to bring out the best in everyone? What would be your best tips for us?
Mhm. I think it's very important to appropriately assess management frequently, because usually we tend to run appraisals for employees, but not for team managers or team leaders or C-level executives. I think everyone should be objectively assessed frequently, and there should be frequent communication, frequent check-ins. And I think that something that human resource professionals can do about the bullying specifically, the bullying incidents, they can embrace technology regarding reporting, because so far reporting of bullying or harassment are usually done in person. And I know many times victims don't feel comfortable to talk about their experience. So I recommend the adoption of web platforms or and can talk about what has happened. I think this will make reporting easier and more accessible, and the victim will be able to express the feelings, because the other person will not be able to see them crying or being upset or frustrated. And I think that this will help a lot regarding the workplace bullying reporting. And of course, to increase awareness, educate people about bullying, because human resource professionals can create a session where they will educate their employees of um, all lines, like from junior employees to C-level executives. Let them know what is acceptable behavior, what is not acceptable behavior, and then accordingly recruit people with the desired behavior and retain people with this behavior. And of course, always, as you said, we should be the role model. And for the people who have received bullying, who are the victims, stand up for yourself, talk to your bully and ask them to stop. Many times this works and the bully stops. And take care of yourselves. It's very important to take care of ourselves when things are not going very well.
Okay,
Okay.
well said. I think you have a group, you have formed a group. You mentioned about Cosmo leadership, and you also mentioned to me an offline, right? That you have this group in Greece that you form related to protecting those people who have been bullied at work. Would you like to share that to our audience or listeners?
Back in 2013, I was one of the founders of the first organization against bullying in Greece,
Yeah.
Exodus. It's only for Greece. And a couple of months ago, myself and a few other leaders around the world, we decided that there are so many broken practices in workplaces. So we started the first non-profit leadership organization where we promote best practices in leadership, and we plan to educate current and future leaders, certify them, and we hope that one day everyone will be able to excel at their work. They will be free to express themselves with no harassment, no bullying, and that's our dream. It's very ambitious. We hope that one day our dream will come true and everyone will be free of any form of bullying.
Wow, that's so nice. How can they get in touch with you, Dr. Evie, if let's say they wanted to volunteer in Cosmo leadership or in the anti-bullying group you've formed in Greece or in your other endeavors? How can they
Yes.
reach you?
The easiest way is to send me a request on LinkedIn, as I'm very active on LinkedIn and it's the only social medium I use. And of course, they can also find my website with my name, eviprokopi.com. There is a contact form where everyone can contact me as well. And we're currently building the website of Cosmo Leadership. It should be online around in 1 month from now, I think mid-January, hopefully.
All right, thank you so
Right.
much. Ryan, is there anything else you would like to ask?
Well, I would like to thank her for guesting our show today, and I've learned a lot about those practices from that part of the globe. As mentioned to Giselle, it's the first time for us to have a Greek guest.
Yes, and yes, I agree with you.
Thank you. It was lovely talking to you, and it's great to be here with you today. Thank
We'll
you so
keep
much
in
for the
touch.
opportunity.
We'll keep in
Yeah.
touch, definitely.
Thank you very much again, and stay safe.
Stay safe, Dr. Evie. Thank you.
Thank you.